Hello and welcome to Brockwell Park in London. We're here to investigate a rather worrying blind spot amongst a lot of dog owners. And it's worrying because it could be putting dogs across Britain in unsuspected danger. Now, I'm sure you'll all remember that last summer was a bit wet, to say the least, and we didn't get to enjoy the great outdoors as much as we wanted. But for some creatures, the climate could not have been better, and they came out in force. And it's their growing population which is the hidden threat that we're here today to investigate further. Lungworm, have you heard of it? Well, an awful lot of dog owners haven't, and that's alarming because it is a potentially fatal disease for dogs. In a moment, we're going to find out what man's best friend gets up to when we let them off the lead. But right now, let's find out whether people have any idea what they should be looking out for. Hi. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. I'm Jenny. Hi.
Hi there, how are you doing?
I wonder if I could ask you a few questions about you and your dog.
Of course, yes, absolutely.
Who's this then?
It's Talisker. She is a Staffy Lab that we got from Bassley Dog Home about 6 months ago.
Oh, really?
So-
I wanted to ask you whether
Yes.
you know about lungworm in dogs.
Not as much as I should do, no, absolutely not.
Do you mind if I just ask you, do you know about lungworm?
Not particularly.
A
Not
little
much.
bit, but not a lot.
Are you aware of lungworm?
No, I'm not, no.
Well, it's spread by slugs and snails, and it can actually kill your dog. Is that alarming?
Yes, that is. She does quite like to eat snails, so yeah, I should probably be more careful about that.
Yeah, that's quite frightening, I suppose, in many ways, isn't it? Something to be definitely to be aware of.
So it's clear that people still have a lot to learn about lungworm, especially with experts warning about its continued spread. In fact, 20% of veterinary practices across the country are reporting at least one case of the parasite. So it really is time we took action. Well, we've set up a bee lungworm aware base camp, and we've got our vet Luke Gamble here. Hi, Luke.
Hi, Jenny.
I know you've been taking a little undercover look here at what the dogs have been getting up to in the park.
So it's not just the big snails and slugs you've got to worry about, it's the tiny little ones that they don't ever expect they might pick up. So literally the dog picking up a stick might accidentally ingest a tiny little slug or something, and that could harbour the lungworm parasite. Or that one there is having a drink, or sticking its nose right in the grass there, licking that grass. Again, perfect place where it could just be picking up a little snail or a slug. Dogs have to express their natural behaviour. They have to have fun, they have to be out, they have to exercise, they like to play with balls, play with sticks, stick their noses into all sorts of places they probably shouldn't. And as a result, they are potentially at risk of picking up lungworm.
Well, I mean, that seems so absurd, really. And to go for a walk in the park with your dog is the most normal thing. You're saying that's too big a risk?
No, you have to do that. The dog needs to do that, and you mustn't worry. But what you do have to do is prevent it from catching a potentially fatal disease.
So now we know what to look out for, but to truly appreciate just how important it is to be lungworm aware, you need to see the devastating effect this disease can have if left untreated. And for that, I went to see Blue Cross vet Mark Bosley. So, Mark, you're the chief vet here at the Animal Hospital in Victoria. And this is Maggie, yeah?
Yeah, little Maggie.
Yeah, lovely. But you're not ill, are you? You're not in hospital. No, she's just a friend, is she?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen many cases of lungworm?
Yeah, at the Blue Cross in London, we see a hell of a lot of cases. It's almost on a weekly basis. There was one actually a few weeks ago, a little Cavalier, that ended up having to be put to sleep because it developed heart failure and lung disease because of it. So it's something that really concerns us. The symptoms that you tend to see with lungworm are like coughing or problems with coagulation, like bleeding problems. So it may be a sign like if they have a broken nail and it continues to bleed longer than it should do, then that could be a sign of it. So, I would recommend people go visit their vets and ask about treatment.
How does it actually infect the dog?
Once they get into the body, the parasite then comes out of the slug and it works its way around the body to the heart where it reproduces, and then it erupts out into the lungs, and that's when it tends to cause a lot of the problems, the coughing and the bleeding problems.
So it's actually all through the body at some point, is
It can be, yeah, it can affect all different areas of the body. There could also be internal bleeding as well, so if you notice any blood in the stools, for example, that's something to watch out for. So Jenny, this is one of the cases that we treated at our hospital here in Victoria. Now normally when we x-ray the lungs we expect to see sort of black areas because they're full of air. In this case you can see the sort of white fluffy areas, these grey areas. And these are areas of consolidation full of fluid and maybe blood as well, which are signs we see with lungworm. This is very serious. You know, it can cause dogs to struggle to breathe, it can cause them to cough, and also the hemorrhage, you know, they can become anemic as well, so it can cause all sorts of problems. I mean, this dog needed hospitalisation and treatment for a good few days, but I'm pleased to say it actually managed to pull through.
Did? Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Well, I'm delighted that he made it, thanks to you. So
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, I've certainly learned an awful lot today, and I hope you have too. If you've got any concerns about lungworm, then why don't you visit the Bayer website? It's lungworm.co.uk. Or, of course, you can always contact your vet. Well, thanks for watching, and remember, be vigilant, be lungworm aware.